Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? I feel good today. My name is Kevin Marcus Miller, the Marketing Clarity Doc, and today is virtual lesson 14. All right, in today's all virtual lesson 14, we're going to be talking about the sharpest tool in your shed, self-esteem. Now, for those of you watching this, you might be wondering, Kevin, is this going to be some corny video about how I should love myself? No. This is going to be a video about all of the things that actually go wrong in your business when you have low self esteem. Let's talk about it. So, I'm going to drop in the comments right now. These are the things that go wrong when you have low self esteem. Let's talk about this. The first thing on this list is self doubt. Do you find yourself developing new products and services and not being able to make a clear, concise decision because you doubt if someone's going to buy it or not? That doesn't stem from the market or, well, I don't know if people want it, or I'm not sure if it's valuable. No. All of that stems from here and here. All of that stems from you don't believe that you can actually do this. So you're going to come up with an excuse as to why you're not going to do it. Okay. Number 2 on this list, low output. Okay. CEOs who want to actually scale to 7 and 8 figures, they do not work 10 hours a week, or they do not exercise the 2-hour work week or whatever. Okay. They put in a lot of years, and some of them chose to then work only 2 hours after putting in 50, 60 hours, 70, 80 hours a week. Okay. You can't actually, let me phrase this like this. You either have to have a ridiculous amount of money from the get go to hire the right people to run the entire operation for you, right? Or you have to have a ridiculous amount of time on your hands to want to handhold and manage everything yourself before you get money. You only have 2 options, your time or your money. That's it. You know how people say you only have 24 hours in a day? You know why people actually say that? It's because of number 2, low output. They're not CEOs. Whenever someone says that, the first thing I say as a CEO in my head is they're lying. There's not 24 hours in a day. I have 256 because I have a great team. We get 256 hours done, right? Or whatever. Or 500 or 800. So my mindset has already evolved past those excuses. My mindset already says I don't accept low output by anybody on my team or myself, right? So the truth is, whenever somebody says something like, well, there's only 24 hours in a day, right? That's because they're in a low output frequency. Real CEOs already know that that's just not the truth. So you need to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are high output. Okay. The third reason why businesses actually fail in accordance with low self esteem is because of fear. I experienced a lot of fear, and some of it, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, was very rational. It's very rational to be afraid that your heart's going to stop when it's done so multiple times. I didn't let that stop me. So I stopped making excuses. I went to therapy. I got my head on right. And I kept myself accountable without anybody else needing to tell me what to do. So the truth of the matter is this: you're either going to have low self esteem or high self esteem. And the people who choose to stay at that low output, their business is low. Their business is the same thing. It's low output. So they sit there and they wonder, well, how come I can't get any customers? Why would I want to do business with somebody that's has low self-esteem? I don't even want to be around people with low self-esteem. I don't even want to like posts on Instagram of people who have low self-esteem. You want to know the easiest way to tell that? All you have to do is ask somebody two questions. What's your vision? And who are your friends? That's it. And Instagram, everybody says that already out loud with their posts. So you can just look at their feed and you can tell if they have low self-esteem or not. Alan, what's up, man? Hit the share button. Let me see if I can get you a link. So you're going to hit the share button. It should be at the top on the video. If not, then what you want to do, after this video, there'll be a post of the video. Then you can hit share after the video if it's not letting you do that. So yeah, let me know. Appreciate you tuning in, bro. So the reality of the situation is you can actually just go to someone's Instagram feed and you can tell if they're low output and if they're low self-esteem, right? So do that in your own life right now. Go to your Instagram profile and be honest with yourself. Does your Instagram communicate that you have low self-esteem or high self-esteem? Next thing on the list. Okay? Indecisiveness. Oh, well, no, I'm just rebranding. Oh, no, well, I'm just getting clarity on my niche. You lying. You lying. You being indecisive. And you hoping you're not getting caught. Nobody's going to call you out. I was the king of that. In college, oh, well, I'm working on some new beats, you know what I mean? So, I'm not trying to share, you know what I mean? Or, oh, I'm trying, right? It's all indecisiveness. People with low self-esteem are indecisive, right? And so when I had low self-esteem, I was indecisive. That's also why nobody wants to work with you and nobody wants to pay you. It's because you're indecisive. Hey, Kevin, what services do you offer? Well, I do branding and strategy, and I help get in the mind frame and you indecisive. You're not complex. Stop letting your ego tell you that your service is that unique. It ain't. There's hundreds of people doing what you do, thousands. Stop lying to yourself. There is no unique value proposition, ladies and gentlemen. There's just people who communicate their services better and clearer and more direct. That's it. I'm coming for you today. I'm being honest today. Okay? Next thing on the list, money limiting beliefs. Woo, that's a big one. I'm not just talking about how much money you think you can make with your business. I'm talking about how frequently, how quickly, who you can get it with, how much is rational for someone like you, all of those things. So one of my money limiting beliefs is that I can't make six figures in 24 hours in one day. That's one of the things that I'm working through. That is a money limiting belief that I have, that I cannot make six figures in one day in 24 hours. Okay? It seems like a huge number. Right? But the truth of the matter is, the only reason I think that is because I'm newer to the positive and high self-esteem club. People with high self-esteem, not only do they expect to make six figures in one day, they're surprised when they don't. They're surprised when they don't. And they don't need to post about it either. Isn't that interesting? So, number 6 on the list, lack of self-accountability. So I went to the gym and, I went on this date or whatever, but I didn't work on my business today. I didn't talk to any leads today. I didn't make any phone calls today. Why? Oh, well, I was busy and, so and so was sick or. Dude, let's just keep it all the way 100 for a second. Ask yourself this honest question. If your heart stopped today in the middle of your workday and then restarted and you felt okay to work, would you work the rest of that day? If your heart stopped in the middle of your workday and restarted and you were fine, right? Would you continue working for the day and doing what you have to do and keeping yourself accountable? Most people are going to say, that's crazy. I'm going to take the rest of the day off. Okay, that makes sense, right? You went through a lot that day. Okay. Some people listening to this are going to say, depends on how I feel, right? Depends on how I feel, if it's healthy or not, right? The reason I asked you that question is because guess what? That's what it's like living a day in my life. I have a real heart condition, and that does happen to me on a regular basis. You don't see me making excuses about that. You don't see me stopping and starting my business. You don't see me skipping client meetings, team meetings. I've been doing a Facebook Live every single day consistently without excuses. So you got to ask yourself that honest question. If you were in Kevin Miller's shoes, what would you do if your life was that way? If you had low cardiac output, right? What if you had cancer? I have clients that had cancer. One of my clients in particular, they had to cancel a call because they were going to chemo. You don't have a real excuse, okay? Just be honest with yourself. You don't. That's a really valid excuse. I have chemo and I need to go and I feel like shit today. That ain't no made up excuse. That's a real one. That's a valid excuse. Okay? So the key to self accountability is actually being honest and vulnerable with yourself when no one's around. And that's a skill that has to be learned over time. Most people don't want to do that because they don't like what they find. Right? And the truth is, when you're trying to prospect or grow your business, you're going to attract people with low or high self esteem, and that's going to be part of it. You want to attract clients who keep themselves self accountable. That's the key. Number 7, lack of proper business planning and budgeting. This is a very easy thing to fix. Okay? Do you have an accountant? Well, Kevin, I can't afford one. That's the point. Don't start a business if you're not willing to take risks necessary to grow the business. You're not supposed to be able to afford everything right away. That's the whole point of making a business, is so that one day you can. Oh, well, I can't afford to hire a VA right now, Kevin. Oh, okay. So you're saying your business is going to run just fine without any employees at all? Okay. So you didn't actually plan for growing and having a real business. That's great. That's not somebody I want to work with. Bye. Come on, y'all. You started this business and then you freestyled it. You freestyled it. Why? You don't got to have a fancy, expensive business plan. Just write down on a piece of paper. These are the things I need. Accountant, lawyer, service offerings, niche, target audience, website. I just gave you the blueprint. Logo, marketing team. Come on, y'all. This ain't rocket science. You know how many people fail with their business because they just don't actually have enough self-esteem to sit down and write down what they need. because they already in their mind thought they were going to fail. So they just didn't even plan anyway. They just freestyled it. That's low self esteem. That's what people with low self esteem do. They don't plan, they just hope it goes okay. I know a lot of people like that. And to be honest with you, we don't really get along that well. People with high self esteem don't really get along with people with low self esteem. Okay? Especially in personal relationships. There's nothing to talk about. Number 8, settling for less. We ain't even got to go there, y'all. We all know what that means. Settling for less in your business, the type of clients you attract. Well, I'm going to work with this client because, there's an opportunity there. Had somebody go through had this happen the other week with a client. They were working with somebody and they had this expectation that eventually they were going to stop treating them like crap. Sure enough, they never stopped. They kept asking for free stuff and then they just packed their stuff and went. Low self-esteem. When you have low self-esteem, you settle for less because you don't think you deserve more. That stops today. Number 9, insecurity. People with low self-esteem, they sabotage other people because they're insecure. They also say things like, well, we both can't be in the same industry. There's not enough room for both of us. You have to adjust your business plan. No, you don't. Well, my friend, he does marketing for dentists, so I can't do it too. Scarcity mindset, ladies and gentlemen. Insecurity, low self-esteem. All those things are actually the root of your business problem. That's why you need to work with a mindset coach or a therapist before you start your business. Cheat code. Work with those people before, during, and after you start your business. And ladies and gentlemen, the final key indicator of low self-esteem is low self-confidence. There's a difference, ladies and gentlemen, between self-esteem and self-confidence. Self-confidence is essentially how you choose to market or advertise your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is actually the essence of what you think about yourself when there's nobody looking. Self-confidence is what you choose to project to the world. You can fake self-confidence. You walk into a bar, you look at people in their eyes, you dress nice. You can fake all that stuff. And a lot of people will believe you that you have self-esteem. And there's still a lot of people doing business that way, that have high self-confidence and low self-esteem. The higher your self-confidence is and the lower your self-esteem is, then you start to get into that nasty area of arrogance, right? Or over exerting your confidence, right? And then the people who have real positive and healthy high self-esteem are going to start to tell and be able to know, oh, this person's they're just projecting self-confidence. They're not actually self-confident or have high self-esteem. So that's why it's important as a business owner and as a CEO to refine your mindset and realize that the sharpest tool in your shed is actually high self-esteem. If you want to get more customers, if you want to do better on sales calls, if you want to charge more money, if you want to be a leader in your family, all of those things require high self-esteem. You cannot do those things with low self esteem. You will always fall. So, as always, if you need support and after watching this video, you're sitting there like, wow, I need to work on my self esteem, I have a lot of recommendations for you. The first thing you want to do is identify what's causing the low self esteem. For me, I identified that my low self esteem was caused by me looking on Instagram a lot. Ah, man, that dude made 9 figures, man. Ah, dang it. Why don't I have that? Right? We all do that. Everybody does that. So, identify what's causing the low self esteem. Then you're going to want to take massive action with zero excuses. Okay? I'm going to tag our resident mindset coach, Sam Becker. Sam is my personal mindset coach. He's the one who's been helping me grow my business and my mindset. Okay? So if you're serious, what you want to do is DM Sam. I'll tag him. You're going to DM him and let him know that you're serious about getting your mindset right. He's going to charge you a lot of money. Be prepared for that. I don't want to hear any excuses. Okay? If you have other traumas you need to deal with, you need to go to therapy. I go to therapy every single month, regardless if there's anything wrong. I consider it going to the gym. Okay? People with high self-esteem don't look down on therapy because guess what? Jay-Z goes to therapy. Beyonce goes to therapy. All your favorite artists, all your favorite entrepreneurs, most of them go to therapy, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So, if you're ready to take massive action, you know what to do. DM Sam Becker. I'll see you next time.